Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Machedo is the best.
All right. I'll read out this article that has come on College Times, and I'll give you my thoughts. It has been written by Mazhar Faruqi, who is, I've known this journalist, a very authentic, genuine human being, whom I have had the honor to know. He is an award-winning journalist. So he wrote this article. So I'll give you my thoughts about this, and feel free and let me know what are yours. Okay. If you're new to my channel, my name is Machedo. I'm a personal branding strategist. I help people get well-paying jobs in Dubai, UAE, and people book my services for when they have, personal, professional problems or challenges. I give them practical, steps, kind of a unique approach. I have 7,000 videos. You can check them out. Okay. So now the title of this article is Dubai Woman Loses 30 relatives in one night as Israeli bombings flattens a home in Gaza. The victims were aged 8 to 65 years. All took shelter in a 3-story villa in Rafah, and it was struck by a missile on October 16th. And if you see the article, I'll put the link down below. It's, I don't know, it's this is like one of those war zones where no human being lives, and it seems that this was a residential area and now it's destroyed. So anyway, so the main aspects of this article, I've taken it down here. So it seems here is the Dubai resident lost 30 relatives in an Israeli airstrike that decimated a villa in a hometown in Gaza. The victims, whose age is 8 to 65, included her cousin, who was Alia. They've changed the names, by the way, just to keep their privacy, who was 22 years old. And this young girl was about to come to Dubai to start her new life. She just got a job as a nutritionist. Okay, so on October 16th, that is nearly 2 weeks ago, 8 p.m., a missile struck the villa in Rafah, located southwest of Gaza, where 5 extended families all were staying there. There were no survivors. In the debris, 30 bodies were pulled out. Her uncle, who owned the villa, his wife, the daughter, their 4 children, almost everyone. When I read such news, now I have this friend of mine who sometimes tells me, Loy, now people are only talking about what? Palestinians and Israel, whatever. What about the poor people in Africa? What about the poor people in, some other country? Let's say Syria or say any other country. Okay, Africa, many parts of Africa or Pakistan or whatever. What about them? See, what news I get now, what news I get of people dying or whatever is shown, I can react to that. Okay? Obviously, as a human being, as one person, I can't subscribe to Filipino Times, African Times, Syrian Times, Iraqi, Irani. I mean, I can't look at the whole world and choose like, okay, this country, so many died, this country. Okay, that is one. The other thing is, I generally, if you see my YouTube videos and my channel, I don't necessarily talk about a particular, let's say, country or particular nationality, unless, of course, it is focused on India, because I'm an Indian passport holder. My target audience is Indian. So if I were to speak of, okay, the atrocities in Nigeria or Congo or Zanzibar, okay, for example, I don't think anybody in my YouTube community is going to relate to that, because they'll be like, man, we don't know anyone in Zanzibar. Okay, Zaire, Congo, three women from Zaire, they died, or four African children died. They'll be like, yeah, it's sad, but you know, like for example, my group is one of the groups. They're very interested in cricket. Like right now, Israel-Palestine conflict is taking place, which is kind of focused in the global media, but they are only interested in cricket. Seriously. There's another group which is only interested in technology. Then I have this porn group, which they're only interested in porn. They don't care. Nobody is talking about it, because maybe because the theme of the group is that. Okay. So people generally will talk about those topics that interest them. Now, you might ask, so what have you got to do with Israel and Palestine? The answer is, I don't have anything got to do with it. However, um, because there are people in Dubai and there are people in India who work in Israel, or they have friends who are Israeli or Palestinian, or some even, they have business transactions in Iran, Iraq, Palestine, whatever. So these conversations keep happening, okay, and they keep exchanging these ideas, and they ask me, like for example, this link that I got, it was sent to me, and they just said, see, a Dubai resident. Okay, so if someone would say a Palestinian woman died and she lost all her relatives, I would be like, yeah, okay, but I wouldn't be able to relate to her. But now when you have the common ground and say, yeah, she lived in Dubai, I kind of relate to her because I was in Dubai. And like, that sentence that came there, no? She was 22 and she was about to start her life in Dubai. I mean, I know so many people who are in that range, that age, and they're about to start their life in Dubai. And when they start their life, or they send me a thank you note, or let's say the job gets cancelled and they're devastated. So I can relate to all this. So if someone were to tell me, oh, people in Africa, like I'll tell you, forget Africa. There are places in Russia, there are places in Ukraine, there are places in Far East Europe where people are dying, where there are problems happening. We as human beings, we can't focus on every single country in the world, every single problem. We will choose what maybe is either in the popular media, or the media is feeding us, or we have of interest. So in my case, why I'm bringing this out is because sometimes I get these. Okay, this one was my friend just telling me that, yeah, there are people in Africa, and why she brought it up is because uh, friends that she knows, they were questioning her, why don't you put on your social media, united with Palestine, or talk positive about Palestine and negative about Israel. And she doesn't want to get into this political drama. So she's like, there are so many people who are dying in Africa. Why are you not talking about it? So then they're like, why should we bother about that? And so, if you start thinking like this now, that, oh, there are people, then don't watch the news. Seriously, just don't watch the news. Just like how my groups, they have the PC gamer group or the tech group. Then you have the group which is like where they can speak on global issues, but they're talking of cricket, actual cricket. Now you'll be like, oh, how stupid they are. No, this is what they like. There are people with various interests. So you find out what kind of news you like, or what kind of news interests you, and talk accordingly. For me, Like I told you, I have interest in Dubai, I have interest in Indians. But as a human being, when I see videos, which obviously are fed to me by the media, of small children, small boys and girls, covered in blood, severely injured, and they're crying and they're shaking. For me, it doesn't matter whether you're Israeli, Palestinian, atheist, Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Pakistani. That is a child. That for me is a child. When I saw one video where the mother was her 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 baby, small, maybe 10-year or 8-year or 10-year, whatever, was dead, and they opened, just just died, blood and everything, and she held the child in her arms, and she was, oh, the agony and the pain and the tears. I It was hard for me to watch, but I forced myself to watch because this is a reality of life. And I'll tell you, there were so many members in my that group that shared this. Many of them said, I cannot watch it. I'm sorry, I just can't. And one even sent me a message and said, crying, I'm just crying. I'm hugging my child because my child is as old as this. So we as human beings, no, we as human beings, at least the ones who have their common sense in place, their brains in place, their heart in place, they will view not as an Israeli or Palestinian, but as a human being. And I always have this simple question: why do you have to kill a civilian? You are an army and you're an army, and fight and destroy yourselves, yeah? Fight. You're like two fighters, fight. But what has a small little boy or girl or mother or a poor civilian, a man who is just working to make ends meet? What do you get by cutting water, electricity, medical supplies, the human decency for someone to live? I don't understand this kind of politics side, and I've total disgust for American politics. And my blood boils whenever I listen to that dark lady at the UN, the US ambassador. Whenever she talks, I know she's reading off a script and she's following instructions. It just shows American politics at its worst. How the entire world is saying, stop, let the civilians live. But just US and Israel, obviously Israel and Palestinians hate each other. But man, if you are if you are a normal human being and you see a woman, a child, a man who have done nothing and they are made to suffer, I'm sorry, but for me, I don't know how anyone can be happy about it. And in my social media, if I have anyone, means they don't tag me, but if they post, yay, like they are very happy for any side that they have killed women, children, whatever, or they have bombed a place, and I I don't I don't argue with them, I don't fight with them, I don't comment. How can you be so sick? Nothing. Block and delete. I don't want to know you exist. Wish you all the best. It's your life. It's your Facebook. It's your page. It's your opinion. You have a right to it. And I have a right to choose whether I associate with you or not. Okay. So coming back to this one, ah, just imagine, she has lost 30. She has lost every single person who she knew. Just imagine if it was you. If you lost your mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, every single person you knew. And now you're an orphan. What would you say? How would you feel? I mean, and this poor lady, she's still working, and her office has advised her, as per this article, please go home. But she's saying, if I sit quiet and alone, I'll go mad. So she's working, keeping herself busy. And at the end, it says 8,000 people have killed as of October 29th in Gaza. And out of which, it seems 3,324 children have been killed. I don't know, man. Who wants this war? I don't know who wants this war. And I don't know why would anyone be happy about it. For me, I told you, you can be from a country I don't like. You can be from a religion I don't like. I'm not going to take any pride, any happiness, any glee. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, just go to Instagram or go to any of this thing like Newspaper Middle East Monitor, or not these Western media. Western media is just trying to portray Israel as, okay, we are protecting ourselves. That's it. But see these Arab media, you'll not be able to see. It's too much. It's just too much. Anyway, this was the article by College Times, and it's tough. It's tough to watch. And sincerely, I just hope. Sometimes I think, what is all this nationality? What is all this passport? What is all this religion? And just be a human being and live here. Where politics comes in, where power, corruption, where power, money comes in, corruption, and we are just seeing the worst of. It's become like the World War, savages here. Anyway, um, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Good, bad, ugly. Feel free to comment. I just hope this stops. That's all. All right. You guys take care. Ciao.